over Fernley, Nevada. It's pretty turbulent here between the mountains as usual. You can also see a lot of haze and smoke from the fires that have been plaguing the West. Coming into view is the 40-mile desert, scene of the California Trail saga. As they came off the 40-mile desert, the pioneers turned west at Promontory Turn at the end of the Truckee Range off the wingtip. After harrowing days on the desert, the exhausted immigrants faced the worst stretch of all before reaching water. 6 miles of deep sand. Their oxen could smell the Truckee River and became so frantic that they often had to be set loose. We're looking at the south end of the Truckee Range, totally blackened by the wildfire of 2017. The Truckee River runs down to Pyramid Lake off the wingtip. The pioneers whose luck held out reached water, trees, and grass at Big Bend. A pioneer woman said, "Now I know what heaven will look like." Virginia Peak is the site of the NexRad weather radar antenna that gives you a real-time weather picture. This is my other STEM classroom. However, I am the student in this classroom. I wonder what all these clocks are for. Guess I'll have to read the instruction manual. Now we're on the east side of the Truckee Range at a much higher altitude. It is also much smoother, but the atmospheric pressure approaches the limits of breathability. The darkness of the range is evidence of the wildfire that burned over the whole 25-mile length in 2017. Perhaps evidence of global climate change too. Looking at the Truckee Range from the east, overlooking the 40-mile desert, Two Tips was a landmark for the pioneers. The Donner Party looked at it as they left the last water at the end of the Humboldt River 40 miles north. One of history's greatest migrations occurred here. 250,000 people between 1844 and 1869, when the Transcontinental Railroad was completed along the same route. The 40-mile desert was called a killer of men. An 1850 report counted 953 graves and 10,000 dead animals here. Ponder that as you drive down the freeway in air-conditioned comfort. Fireball Ridge, named after a meteor event in 1911. This place along the hellish route was called Boiling Springs by the pioneers. They cooked food in the pools and made hot tea in what they called a hellish place. The Earth's crust is stretched thin in the Great Basin, resulting in extensional faulting. The faults allow water to reach the magma, geothermal power from the nuclear reactor we all sit on. Eventually, what goes up must come down. The hard part. If you worry about the takeoff during flying, you can relax. Everything is getting better with takeoff. You're going faster and faster, gaining more lift, escaping the ground. During landing, however, everything is getting worse. You are getting lower and slower, losing lift. The goal is to get lower and slower. Lose all lift, stall the wing, stop flying, and drop out of the sky. About a foot off the ground, hopefully. I'm looking down at my shadow. Good idea. If I see two shadows, there is another airplane in my space. A low-wing aircraft has an obscure view below, and a high-wing aircraft has an obscured view above. A fender bender in an airplane is a fatal event. This is a time for maximum alertness. Suppose a peak experience for pilots. You have to deal with crosswinds close to the ground. Gusts can surprise you, even on what looks like a calm day. You've got to be on your game all the way down. Crossing the threshold. Flight number 1012 in the logbook. What I like about flying is the adventure, though you sometimes get more adventure than you'd like. You don't have to go far. Seeing places from above where you've been all your life is an adventure. Sarah Van Diemen, the first American woman to fly, learned this. After going up with Wilbur Wright in 1909, she said, "It was delicious. Now I know why the birds sing."